Hi, I'm Paul, and I have a great little MacBook Air from 2013. Do you need a second computer? A small laptop? A laptop that you can take on vacation with you and you don't mind if it gets lost or stolen or damaged? Do you need a little laptop you can throw in the car and use to read some notes or whatever it is that you're doing? Do you need a laptop that has an SD card reader? Because they barely come with those anymore. Do you need a laptop that you can use while you're sitting on the couch? Or maybe you have a young family member coming and you don't want them destroying the nice computer. Well, for many reasons, an older MacBook is great for that. And I want to talk about why. So this is a 2013 MacBook Air that I bought new in 2013. I bought this from the Apple Store, and it's in great shape. As you can see, it's got a little ding right there on the case. And other than that, it's in great condition. The keys all still work as they should. The trackpad works as it should. All the buttons work as they should. And this is a 12-year-old laptop. It's very well built. It closes well. It's light, and it looks good by today's standards even. So why does an older MacBook like this make a good secondary daily laptop? Even a primary laptop if you needed it? Well, there are many reasons. First of all, they often have Intel Core i5 processors, or better, which is what this is. This is a dual-core i5 processor. They also oftentimes have SSDs in them. That's another key. You want an older laptop that has an SSD. You don't want a mechanical HDD. You know, SSDs are HDDs, but that's neither here nor there. You want an SSD, solid state storage. And this has like 120 or 128 gigs. I think it's 120. This also has Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth. It has an array of ports. It's got Thunderbolt right there, USB. It's got an SD card reader. It's got another USB. It's got the charging port. It's got headphone jack right there. It's got a webcam. These computers are robust little machines that you don't have to worry about, and they're dirt cheap. You can get these kind of laptops all day long. I think this cost me like $1,000 back in 2013, give or take $100. And you can get these all day long, $50, $100, $35, $75 used, right? And it's a great little thing to use if you need a second laptop. Now I'm going to show you the boot speed on this, and you'll see what happens. So listen for it. So there we go. Now I have mine running Ubuntu Linux. So we talk about planned obsolescence, forced obsolescence, things not being able to be used any longer, being forced to upgrade. Well, the beauty about an old laptop is that you can take something like a Linux distribution, which is very easy to install, and install it to replace your existing operating system. A lot of Windows 10 devices might be a good fit for putting some sort of Linux operating system on it. So I'm just logging in here. I just typed in my password. Now we're logging in. And this is dark theme. I could change that just to show a little bit more functionality, but this is dark theme right here. I kind of like that dark theme. I might change it right now just to make it come up on screen a little bit better. So that's under appearance, and we'll just switch it over to the light theme. There we go. We'll switch it over to the light theme, and then that might be a little bit more useful as I'm showing a couple demonstrations. But as you can see, this computer can pretty much do it all. You can install apps from Ubuntu's App Store. You can install Google Chrome directly from Google, which is what I've done. For example, here's Google. I'm going to open that up, see if you can see that. And we're opening Google right now. There it goes, pops right up. Here's my Google homepage, which goes to YouTube. And there you go. You can see it's loading. It's not the slowest. It's not the fastest. We'll go to a video here, one of my videos, and we'll see just kind of what it looks like. Now, one of the things you might want to keep in mind is it's oftentimes best to not choose your higher resolutions, but your 1080p or your 720. So we'll go to the screwdriver video right here. Regardless of price. And it's really not about price. So I'm going to share the one thing that's most important about buying a screwdriver, but I'm also going to and as you can see, the volume button works. Here, got my screwdrivers over here. It's going to be a fun one, folks. 7 points to make today. We can move it. We can mute it. I want to make. There we go. Just muted it. So an old MacBook is perfect for a little daily driver computer. Here's something else you can do, right? Here's something else. So I'm going to turn on this GoPro Hero 4 session or whatever it's called, and we'll get it turned on. Now it's turned on. Now we're starting to record. I've got my MacBook right here. I got my camera phone right there. Here's $half face right here. And we're just testing this, right? So this is a GoPro. Here's something cool and useful you can use with older computers, because my son was asking me if we had an SD card reader. And guess what? We do. So I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to take my SD card reader adapter, which is somewhere over here, I think. Here it is right here. So I'm going to close Google Chrome. See how easy it is to multitask, folks? I'm going to open up this little port cover on the GoPro. I should be doing this on camera. Pull out the little SD card. I'm going to put in the card to the adapter. Then I'm going to move it to the MacBook. This is how easy it is. No cloud needed, folks. No cloud needed. So now it picked that up and it registered it. So there it is right there. So we are in this SD card right now, and we should be able to see the video that I just took. Where is it? Right here. I think it's this. We'll see what happens. We'll double click this. Turned on. Now we're starting to record. I've got my MacBook right here. I got my camera phone right there. Here's $half face right here. And we're just testing this, right? So do you see that? The functionality, the ease of use, the practicality. You can do a lot of things on a 12-year-old MacBook to this very day. I'm going to go ahead and eject that SD card the proper way. If you're used to Windows, it's the same thing, right? You right-click it, which is a double tap on a Mac, and you click eject. There you go. Now the SD card reader can safely be unplugged. Boom, it's now safely unplugged. So a couple things to look for if you're looking for an older laptop because you need a secondary laptop. You want at least a dual-core i5 processor. You want at least an SSD with 120 gigs of storage, and you want at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. I would not go worse than that as far as specs. You can certainly go better than that, but that's the bare minimum. And if Ubuntu starts to run sluggish as time goes on, use an even lighter, less resource-hungry distribution of Linux. That's always a possibility too. So I just wanted to come out here and make a quick little video of ways you can get around the Internet of Things, ways you can get around having to use subscriptions, right? Like this is not connected to the GoPro subscription service or anything like that. This is just popping out the SD card, putting it in my SD card reader, doing what I need to do and moving on. Don't have to worry about becoming obsolete with Apple forcing me to upgrade or locking me out of upgrades. For example, my Apple TV. We bought Apple TVs in 2010, and the primary reason we bought those Apple TVs was because that was one of the few streaming devices at the time that had a YouTube app built into it natively. Well, guess what? Apple removed that app. So several years later, we haven't used them for years, but a couple years ago, I wanted to use this Apple TV again, and I plugged it in, and it said update required or restart required or something. I went through the process, and then boom, the YouTube app is gone, right? So they will remove features and take features away. This is a way to kind of get around all that stuff. A quality 10-year-old laptop that can still hold a charge. Now, the battery is not going to be as good as it was 10 years ago, but this is running on battery powered right now. And yeah, I mean, it's good to go, good to go. So a 10-year-old laptop might be an option if you need a secondary computer that you can work off of. I would advise against using a Chromebook. I would use a Windows laptop or a older MacBook that has at least an i5, an SSD, and at least 4 gigs of RAM. If you got built-in Wi-Fi and built-in Bluetooth, that should pretty much be standard at this point. And if you've got ports on there, the more ports, the merrier. So what do you think? Are you using an older laptop? What are you using for an older laptop? And what do you do? What do you have running on it? Anyway, I just wanted to come out here and say that this is a cheap way to save money if you need a device that can actually work. 13-inch screen, a proper keypad, a proper trackpad, battery that still holds a charge, under $100. What more could you want? That's all I got for you today. Thank you for your time.